Welcome to another episode of Meet Me Outside. We're doing this one on Zoom because somebody has COVID.
Who?
You.
Oh, shit, man. That
Yeah.
explains why I feel awful.
Good. You should feel terrible.
How many times did you have COVID?
Just once.
Oh, really? I thought you caught it like 3 times or
No.
something.
I'm pretty good about not getting COVID, I think.
So was I until it happened, you know?
Yeah. You went longer than me, though. And in all fairness, I got to give credit where credit is due. So how'd you get it?
I love it. You're like, I gotta give credit where credit is due to you being a hermit, someone who never leaves the house.
Yeah. An antisocial weirdo who doesn't
Yeah.
go out much. Yeah.
He does a set. By the time he gets off stage and the host says, "Give it up for Dennis Rooney," I'm in my car already. Yeah.
The key is turning before the guy even reaches the mic.
I'm starting the engine and be like, I'll leave you with this. Beep, beep. Yeah, I went mad long without getting it. And I was even the guy where I've been saying for the past like 6 months, I'm like, if you get tested, why? Why are you getting tested at this point?
Of course, you don't need to know.
Yeah, everyone's exposed anyway. If you get sick, just act sick and don't go out anyway. And then I started feeling ill. And my parents told me, they were like, your Uncle Johnny tested positive. And I'm just thinking back to hugging my Uncle Johnny. God damn it, John.
Yeah. Oh, man. You guys were like tasting each other's drinks and shit.
Yeah. I was just open mouth kissing everyone at my family's party over the weekend.
Yeah, he's giving you like, oh, you got to try this potato salad. And he's just jamming it into your mouth.
He's like, does my breath smell? I'm like, no, John, it smells fine. It smells fine.
You've been to a dentist. Does this look infected?
You've got teeth, right? Look at mine. Get in there. And even when I was not feeling well, I'm such an asshole. I hit up some friends of mine and I was like, all right, I have an ethical predicament. I'm like, I don't feel well. And I know I was in contact with someone with COVID. Should I cancel my gigs this weekend?
Yeah.
And I actually needed my friends to be like, yeah, you need to cancel those gigs.
Man, that's so. Who are we giving a shout out to praise this week for being ethically better than you?
Everybody I know, probably.
You didn't ask me.
I knew what you would say.
You wanted the answer you wanted to hear. We're just like, COVID ain't shit.
Yeah, I was going to my scumbag friends who would be like, bro, it hasn't been real. It's never been real. It's all in your head.
Get a magnet, bro. Yeah, of course.
I'll tell you. So me and 2 of my brothers all seem to have caught it this week.
Yeah.
And one of my brothers said, he sent me a picture. It was a bottle of zinc.
Right.
A bottle of elderberry, and then a bottle of silver. Like there's a name for
a bottle of silver.
It's
like wait, are we talking like silver or like Centrum silver?
It's not just like a bottle that's been filled with hard silver and you can't get it out anymore. It's
no, like I think shards. Like,
yeah, it's like Goldschlager.
yeah, it's got the leaf.
It's just a bottle of vodka with bits of silver in there. It's just got nickels in there.
Yeah. Silver Schlager.
No, it's like some sort of silver solution, right, where it's out of all those 3 things. I was like, I'm a little skeptical of that. And I looked it up, and it's got like, at least on Amazon, it's got like 25,000 reviews of people like, this will save your life.
Yeah, man. What do you know how many fucking lunatics are out there going, you gotta take silver.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, right. It's like, man, when I was worried about like losing my hair a lot, you know what I mean? Like really bad, like early on. And I take Propecia.
Are you thinning out?
To a degree, not heavy.
Look like you got a full head there?
Yeah, not heavy, but like there's a little bit of thinning, right? And like the where my head, like where my hair starts, that's been like that for a long time. What
do you mean? What do you mean where your hair starts? What are you trying to say?
Like like from where my my hairline. Yeah. I have COVID.
No, you mean like it looks like you have a receding hairline, but you've always had that
I've
problem.
always had it at this length where it's
Okay.
it's always been there.
Have you ever rocked bangs, like hair down to your eyebrows?
Yeah.
Didn't work out?
No, I look like an idiot. I look like a giant fucking mook is what I look like.
All right, so the hair was, you never took Propecia or anything?
No, I take Propecia. I take Propecia.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Hey.
That's preventative though, right? It's not like restorative.
Supposedly, allegedly restorative. Allegedly.
Oh.
But this is the thing with it. If you are bald, it's not gonna bring back your hair. It's over. It's too late. You know?
There's definitely some dudes watching this who are like, yes, it will. Yeah. Yes, it
will. they're rubbing half an onion on their head.
Yo, half an onion is hilarious. That reminds me, actually, when COVID first started, one of my brothers, he read that. I assume you're alluding to this old wives' tale, where it's like a raw onion will absorb toxins.
Right. Yes, I heard about it for hair loss too.
Okay. I went over to my parents' house one time early on in COVID. My brother had just left onions all over the house, like they were Christian symbols. Just the Virgin Mary and half an onion, you know.
Yeah, the Father, the Son, and a few onion rings.
Yeah, the Father, the Son, and the green onions.
Yeah,
but the silver. So I look it up. It's got like 25,000 people saying like this will save your life. This will cure everything. Of course. And then I go on to Reddit and I search it.
I'm gonna tell you right now, man. The unfortunate thing is sometimes Reddit really comes in. If there's so many like variables, Reddit could be a problem.
How do you mean?
Like if it's just like in terms of, I think the vaccine gave too many variables.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to like something as clear as like hair loss, it's like, hey, does rubbing olive oil in your scalp bring back your hair? And then people go, no. Stop it. Please stop. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's why.
Yeah. But I appreciate Reddit as like the hive mind kind of. Yes.
I'm all about that.
Yeah, I just think of it as like a giant message board for anything and everything. Like anytime I've had a problem or a question, like I'll check out Amazon reviews maybe for a product or something, but I always go to Reddit and be like, what are they saying about silver? And Reddit is saying about silver, it's witchcraft. It's fucking, it's not real. All right. They're taking your money.
Yeah. It's absurd. It almost sounded like you got bitten by a werewolf.
Oh,
yeah, you got COVID. That's all you have. It's insane behavior, and people come up with all sorts of cockamamie things to try to get over it. So
yeah, Big Silver wants you to think that they're the solution to COVID.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if I was second to gold my entire existence, I'd be flooding the internet with all sorts of nonsense.
Yeah, gold ain't gonna do anything but open her legs. You know what I'm saying? Whoa,
yeah, whoa, hello. But it's like, for example, if I'm silver, I'm gonna pull moves like that.
Did you have a Rubik's Cube in your hand right now?
Yeah.
Is it solved?
No. It's one side.
But you're showing the solved side to the screen. I noticed.
I'm gonna tell you right now, the solved side came through, and I go, "This is not gonna look good on mine."
Anytime I've had a Rubik's Cube, if I get one side, I'm like, "That's good enough. I'm a genius."
Dude, I almost had two, and I was like, man, if I just get two, I'm throwing this thing out and considering it solved.
Yeah. You get two sides, you're levitating.
Yeah. My buddy's like, just look it up on the internet. And I go, they did it before. Somebody figured it out.
But I don't understand a Rubik's Cube because, if you get one side, you would think that would be enough. But to get all the sides, and there's like mathematical solutions to it. Like you said, you could look up online. But what's the fun in that?
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a special type of autist who gets obsessed with the Rubik's Cube.
100%. Yeah. This is the thing, man. I wanted something in my hand, not for the podcast, but like when I'm on the phone calls and shit like that. And it's just like, I just want something to fuck around with.
Yeah. I just juggle my nuts usually when I'm on an important call.
I don't. You probably don't need that many fingers.
Because I wiggled all four, but it'd really just be like.
Yeah, you're coming in mad aggressive. Like, who are you? I mean, and my nuts aren't even that big. Where I'm just like,
You know, I've never. And this is a very.
Dennis literally pulled out like his hand, a giant mitt, and it looked like 4 monkeys' paws together. And he shook it like in Karate Kid when they're doing those little fucking things at the Karate Kid 2. That's too old of a reference. He looked like he was playing the maracas, and it looked fucking ridiculous.
Am I frozen on your screen or just mine?
You're frozen on mine too.
All right. I don't think it matters, but
sure.
Yeah. I've never been told, just while we're on the subject of my tiny nuts, right. I want to defend them a little bit.
Hold on a sec.
Yeah.
I heard a noise at my door. I had to go and check that. And it turns out that it was just like kids in the hallway. And I guess one of them hit my door. Like, you know what I mean? Like maybe they were playing like a race where they both tap the door and then they run off in the other direction. You know?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Because I'm at the end of a hallway. So it's like, you know.
Yeah. So yours is the hardest door to get away from after you provoke it.
Yeah. And it's like part of me wants to open the door and then just let Bruce chase after them. But it would just be so cruel. And then like I'd get in trouble because then it'd be like, hey, this guy's letting his dog out to check. Even though he's like 14 pounds, it would still come off as me being an absolute piece of shit.
This is how we find out that Bruce has a taste for blood.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
You let him out down the hallway, he comes back with a shoe in his mouth with the foot still in it.
At night, he's always like looking at the cats funny. And I think that he's scared of them, but maybe they're scared of him.
Yeah. He's got to put on a face while he's in front of you, but they know.
Yeah. He's got like somewhere in one of his blankets is a cat's head. Anyway.
So
go on. So now you're realizing you got COVID. You got a test.
Got COVID.
Yeah.
I got to stay home. I'm quarantined. Here's when we were quarantining without COVID, when it was like, oh, you can't really go out and do shit. It was great. It was great. I was smoking weed, doing mushrooms, drink, TV, whatever. Go for a walk. I'd still go out and get like exercise and shit. I'd do stuff.
Yeah.
Quarantining while sick sucks.
It is the worst.
It sucks, dude.
It is like, I was totally agree with you what you said about the quarantine. Quarantine was great.
Yeah.
Evening walks, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Smoke weed, play video games, listen to music.
Everybody was quarantined.
It was great. It was beautiful. Yeah. And when you have COVID post-quarantine and you're actually sick and having to stay in your house, each fucking day is a true nightmare.
Yeah. I'm really only on like day 2 of quarantine and I'm so over it already. And I think I got like 4 more days coming. Dude,
you were like, oh, I'll go to work Monday. And I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, I had it out. I had a different idea of what this was going to be like. Because I also thought a lot of the times if I get sick, let me know if this is how it goes for you when you get sick. But if I get sick and I really buckle down and I'm like, all right, I'm not going to smoke. I'm not going to drink. I'm going to drink tons of fluid. I'm going to get vitamins in me. I'm going to eat well and I'm going to rest.
Right.
48 hours and I'm like almost better than I was beforehand.
Right.
I've been doing that for the past 2 days. I still feel like dog shit.
Yeah. It was, I was doing, my brother, he's a doctor and he was just like, listen, take a lot of vitamin C and vitamin D. You got zinc, that's great too, but those will do it. And I did that. And I probably felt flu-ish for like maybe 24 to 36 hours, flu-ish, no real temperature, which by the way, thinking about how many people I knew that also got COVID that wasn't running temperature whatsoever, the temperature like gauging that we were doing when we were checking people's temperatures to see if they could come inside establishments has almost nothing to do with COVID at all, but almost feels like we just pulled that out of a zombie movie and we're like, this will work. Yeah.
It was a lot of the illusion of safety. And also even like my brother hit me up because he's got it right now. And he's like, oh man, I got a fever of 100.1. And I'm like, that's not even really like people think 98.6 is the exact for everybody. Right, and it's not. It varies like 2 degrees either way.
Yeah.
And you could also just be running hot that day. Like unless you're like 103, I don't want to hear it. All right.
Yes. I think what's your cutoff for fever temperatures?
Say again?
What's your cutoff for fever temp? Like, when do you consider someone to be feverish?
If they're over 102.
I agree.
I think that's fair.
I think that's fair. If you're coming at me with 100.2, I don't want to hear this bullshit.
Yeah, I'm laughing at you.
Yeah,
I'm like, that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it just means you didn't turn on your air conditioner that fast enough.
Right,
right. It's complete nonsense. Yeah, everybody will come. I remember so many times Dino's come and he's like, see if I feel warm. See if I feel warm. I'm like, shut up. Relax.
The see if I feel warm thing, I never understood that as a child, as an adult. What? Oh, yeah. Wow. Very warm. It's like, this does nothing. If you feel hot, you're hot. That's all that matters. You know?
That's it. You know how many times, but meanwhile, we'll listen to somebody go, yeah, I run hot when it comes to sleeping at night. Yeah. But then as soon as like the sickness is involved, they're like, well, what's happening? It's like,
the only thing that should raise concern is if you go to put your the back of your hand on someone's head and it just goes through them like Dr. Manhattan. You know what I mean?
Or it's so hot, it's like the equivalent of touching a hot pan where you got to pull off a video like, ah!
Yeah. If I go to touch your forehead and it whistles like a tea kettle, like, then we got a problem.
Yes. Until then, you're fine.
Right.
I was in Detroit this past weekend.
Yeah, man. How was it? How's the city of cars?
You know, this is the thing that really kind of, upset me. You know, the last time we were in Detroit together, the last time, you and I went on tour.
Yep.
And city was fine. I think it was like, it was like a slope. Yes, it was not, I wouldn't say it had bounced back in any reasonable way.
Yeah.
Definitely had some pretty sketchy parts to it.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time on downtown Detroit this past go around. Man, Detroit is looking nice.
Oh, okay. Looking good.
Yeah, it's looking good. And it's like very, like the downtown area, Comerica Park, all that shit where like the Detroit Tigers Stadium is. It's like nice. Yeah, there's like a couple homeless people, whatever, but it's just like, it's not as bad as New York City, dude. It's like, I was getting on stage and going, man, this really upsets me that I'm watching Detroit pass New York City. Yeah, man, it's like disgusting. Like we used to make fun of their city.
Right.
Like they made a movie about them needing a robotic cop. Like how bad is the crime in Detroit where you guys need to already jump ahead to robots when meanwhile we still have toll booth operators, you know?
Yeah, like, we still had toll booth operators and our real cops were watching that movie and they're like, well, if that's how the robots are doing it in Detroit, we're going to one up them in New York City.
Right. The cops bringing in much more heavier artillery.
What I remember about Detroit when we were there is Lauren Ukalik, I think?
Lauren Ukalik. Yeah,
funny comedian, full names, you know, we try to do on this podcast. But she gave us like the tour of the city after the show.
Right.
Which is kind of nice when you're in a new city. In a way, after the show, all you want to do is go and chill. But like,
I'm gonna be honest, I wanted before the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, take me before. I got something to talk
before
about.
The show. Right.
Yeah.
We went after the show, and I just remember driving around what I believe was the downtown near those two very famous hot dog establishments.
Yeah.
Like a ghost town. Not shady necessarily, not like tons of homeless, not seedy, just like literally no one around.
Not the case anymore.
People are out.
There are bars, nice bars, all sorts of like places to go. I mean, their late night food options still shit, but so people ended up at that hot dog place anyway.
Sure.
But beyond that, like the area around it, man, just nice buildings, hotels. It's like Detroit's really, it's coming together, and anyone who goes Detroit ain't shit or Detroit sucks, like you go, man, go back. It's like coming together nicely.
Can you still find a house for $5,000?
I don't think that's going to be the case.
No.
And the big misconception about that was that there were, even if the house was like $1, you still had to pay things that were on it, like liens against the property. You had to pay water bills, apparently.
Right.
I don't understand how that makes any sense. How they're like, oh, you got to pay this old utility bill. It's like, why? I didn't run the water here. What happened? You know what
the house didn't run the water either. The person who was renting or owning the house did those things. Find their kids.
Right. Go after them. Let me buy this house and try to make this place, better in some way,
Yeah.
But whatever. Nevertheless, like, so I don't know if you're going to be able to find a place for $5,000 or whatever, but the city in itself is making a comeback, and it's kind of nice. So,
all right. How are the crowds?
I opened for Shane Torres, and the crowds are generally, he brings out comedy fans.
Right.
So they're like big people that like comedy. And they're just like, so anything, if you're coming in with jokes, they're all about it. So it was fun that way. So nice. How did you, okay, so you got COVID, what day was it last week?
It was a week ago today that I was exposed.
Yes.
I didn't feel any symptoms until Thursday.
That's absolutely the same situation with me. I was testing negative until Thursday.
Yeah.
PCR, I got a PCR late Tuesday, negative. I took a rapid negative. I tested negative Tuesday, Wednesday. I think Thursday is when I finally tested positive.
Wow. Yeah, so I didn't test at all until everyone around me was like, you need to cancel your gigs. Yeah. You probably have COVID. And then I swiped an at-home test and I got very nervous administering the at-home test.
Why?
I don't know. You would have thought it was like an HIV test. Like the way I was like I sanitized my hands and shit beforehand. Sure. I cleaned my countertop.
Right. Yeah.
And then I read the instructions 3 times to make sure, because I didn't want, I didn't want to.
What? You're gonna take the swab and poke your brain out?
I did my butthole. I'll be honest with you. They said nasal cavity. I was like, you can't be too sure.
Right. You saw nasal cavity and you're like, definitely anal cavity.
Yeah, I was like, I just saw cavity and I was like, there's only one cavity in my book, baby.
My Uncle Johnny told me I had no cavities in my mouth, so I might as well.
I owe him a phone call. I'm going to yell at him and be like, you dirty bastard.
I think you should be allowed to confront the person that gave you COVID.
Who gave you COVID?
Yeah, and tell them something nasty about themselves.
I don't know. I'm sure Uncle Johnny, I don't know. I'm sure there's multiple nasty things about him I'm not aware of. I don't need to know. All right.
Well, you know what I mean? You don't know.
But so I administered the test. I do the double swab. I put it in the thing, shake it up.
How many COVID tests have you taken thus far?
The entire existence of COVID?
Yeah.
This was my second one.
I kind of feel like I might have given you the first one.
No. Oh, wait, no, then 3 then. Because, yeah, you made me take one day, and I was very against it, but whatever.
Yes. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you made me take the same kind of at-home one that I took this time. And when I did it, you swab, you put it in, you mix it up, blah, 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 and then you drip the drips into, like, the thing. And it says wait 15 minutes. I barely walked away from the thing before 2 red lines came up that were like, oh, you got COVID.
Yeah. I wish that if you had COVID, it would like have a sound alert. You know what I mean? Like it just comes at you like, hey, yo, where you think you going, homie?
No, don't leave the house, D.
Yo, dog, you got COVID, bro.
You mad contagious right now. B, get away from me. Throw me out already.
Yo, throw me out the window. It's so essentially you're supposed to be in for I think like 10 days since the exposure.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'll stay.
So now you're at
negative.
Hold on. So you're basically Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You're at day 7.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. So you wouldn't be able to leave till Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe Thursday of this week.
I got gigs on Saturday. I can't miss those.
Oh, you'll make those. You'll make
All
those.
right, good.
Yeah. No, I did the same thing. I skipped a week. And then the next weekend, I did a gig on Saturday with Mike Albanese.
Yeah.
Saturday morning. Friday.
He's dead now from COVID. You gave it to him.
Yeah. Friday, I tested. I still had a faint line. So I canceled my gig.
Does that mean anything, whether it's a faint line or a heavy line, though?
A heavy line means you're like really reaming with the virus.
You're crawling with COVID.
Crawling with COVID, bro. Bro, it's like bed bugs. Bro, you itching with COVID right now.
No, I think a faint line, a heavy line, they just mean you have it. I don't think it means.
But there's the thing, I had a faint line on Friday, and then on Saturday it was totally gone. So I felt comfortable going out to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it felt totally fine to do that. And I did the gig. I did the gig on Saturday and it was okay. And Albanese didn't care either. And he was fine. But the thing is just like, I don't know, man. I think that it's you'll be fine by Saturday.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. You don't seem as bad in terms of like,
I did a bump before we started the pod.
I gotta get through this.
I did a bump of emergency before we started the pod.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you right now, emergency's delicious.
Yo, it's not bad, but like you shouldn't abuse it.
Yeah.
But it works so well, you wanna abuse it.
Yeah. Wait, why shouldn't you abuse it?
So emergency contains 1,000% of your daily vitamin C needs.
Yeah.
So if you're even doing 2 in a day, like that's a lot.
Right.
And once in a while, that's okay. Because here's what I've learned in reading about.
Who knew that the D in MD stood for Dennis?
Stood for Dennis Rooney, everybody. Medical Dennis Rooney.
Yeah.
This is where I'm coming from. Is I've read a couple classic rock bios.
Yeah.
And the Rolling Stones, my friend, who you may know of, even a dummy like you when it comes to music.
Sure.
The Rolling Stones did a lot of drugs, and they had a very crazy tour schedule. And when you're working like that, you got doctors on hand.
Sure.
To pretty much give you whatever you want, whenever you want it,
Right, of course.
And if one of them was really fucked up, the doctor would make like a cocktail of like vitamin A, B, C, D, E, like a crazy strong overshot of their daily usage, but it'd be like 40 times, 50 times, you know what I mean?
Right.
But you take that an hour before showtime and you're money, baby. You're up there, you're shucking and jiving. You're good to go.
You're getting it in, bro.
Yeah, you're going to crash hard, but like it'll get you through those few hours,
Right, absolutely. Of course.
And that's okay to do once in a while. But when I get sick, or I think when a lot of people get sick, they start taking emergency for like 5 days straight.
I was told to keep a high amount of vitamin C in your body, like consistently. Because if you that's what my brother told me. Because he said that if you just do it once, your body looks at it as a freak occurrence and then tries to pee it out. But if it's a consistent thing, your body's now utilizing it as more as possible, more than usual, or more than it should. I guess.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So that's what he told me. He's like,
now I don't know if that means though taking 1,000% 2 days in a row, or if that means taking like 500% 4 days. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
But either way, I don't want to try to put anything in my body that's not gonna like. What am I trying to say? I don't want to put something in my body that's gonna freakishly make me better, only to make me crash later. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. You don't want to like also build some sort of weird ass reliance to emergency either.
Yeah, exactly. The people who take a lot of silver, they turn gray. I'm not kidding. I looked it up.
Yeah?
They do. They turn like gray, their skin.
Oh.
Yeah, man.
I thought you meant their hair. And I'm like, have I been taking silver?
No, you've been taking Centrum silver.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
All right. I thought that was good.
I made a Centrum silver reference way earlier on. It just didn't make sense to bring it back.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah.
I didn't catch it. I'm fever dreaming right now. All right. Yeah.
All right. Well, whatever. You're not as bad as you seem. That's always good. And that's perfectly fine. Hold on.
Well, I feel terrible. I'm just sweating constantly. I'm in the air conditioning the past few days. I can't stop sweating.
Right.
I'm farting. I don't know what's wrong. I know it's COVID, but like I feel like something's wrong with me. I might be pregnant. I don't know.
What if that's what Uncle Johnny gave you? The power to birth children.
I've been craving pickles and peanut butter. That's not normal.
That's not normal at all. Want to talk? I don't know if you saw this. This is kind of fucking wild, man. Lawsuit claims Skittles unfit for human consumption.
Who filed this lawsuit? The Smurfs?
You sound like a competing lawyer.
I want the action, man. I want the juice.
Yeah. Here we go. Let's look at what's happening here. A consumer in California has filed a lawsuit in federal court against candy maker Mars, alleges that Skittles are made with a known toxin, titanium dioxide. Hey, that's also in silver. No, I'm kidding.
It might be.
In 2016, Mars said it planned to eliminate the chemical compound from its products. However, the lawsuit claims it's still being used in products, including skillets. Skillets. Including Skittles. A Mars spokesperson released the following statement regarding the lawsuit. While we do not comment on the pending litigation, our use of titanium dioxide complies with FDA regulations. So that's interesting.
Well, I mean, if it complies with FDA regulations, the companies are going to do what they're going to do. But are we convinced that like titanium, whatever the fuck, is the key ingredient to Skittles? Like, can they not cut this out?
That's the other thing too for me is like why do you need this?
Yeah.
Right. And then the other thing that also is kind of interesting is like the FDA set the limits. I don't trust them.
Why not? That's their whole thing.
No.
Food and Drug Administration.
Oh, you're telling me an administration can't be bought, paid for?
Of course they can, but the FDA is so huge, man.
So what? You're telling me?
You think Skittles is buying? You think Skittles got government money to make the government look the other way?
Bro, the company is named after a planet. You tell me if they got money.
Mars?
They got
Actually,
nothing.
I think it's named after the god Mars.
What? Yeah.
The god of war.
If there's just a giant picture of the god of war over their legal team.
Yeah. You call Skittles to complain and Mars, the god of war, answers. It's just like, you need to back down.
Yeah. Either you taste the rainbow or you're going to taste this dick.
I haven't enjoyed Skittles since I was probably 7 or 8. I'm not a fruity candy guy. I like a chocolate, something chocolatey maybe.
You're telling me you haven't had Skittles at all since 7 or 8 years old?
I haven't had a Skittle in 20 years at least.
That's a complete lie.
Fuck you, it's a complete lie. What are you talking about? You call me a liar on my podcast? On our podcast? Why do you think I'm lying?
Because I know the last time you ate Skittles. I was there with you.
Do you know other things about me? Like when was the last time I showered? Or
I mean, based on the video appearance now, I don't think COVID's to blame in this one.
I need another one. I just can't stop sweating.
You're shirtless, but you're that filthy.
I was thinking about doing the podcast shirtless and just letting everybody see the glisten, and I'm happy I didn't.
Right. Your shirt's drenched. No, yeah. So we had left Cincinnati.
First tour or second tour?
First tour. We had left Cincinnati after doing John Schroeck.
John Schreck and Josh O'Neill.
We left their thing. It's like Thursday Night Battle or whatever it's called.
Thursday Night Live, I think.
Yes. And we shot a video the next day and we were eating Skittles while talking shit.
I don't think I ate any though.
Yeah, you did. You had a couple.
I remember Skittles playing a part on that show. Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn it. All right. So other than that, don't you hate it when somebody else is right about your life?
Oh man, it's really worse when they have such a concrete example and you're just fucked. Yeah.
There's no possible like, well, actually, I was eating M&Ms. It's like, nope.
No, yeah. You were there. Skittles were involved. That happened. Yeah.
And then the second tour, I woke up one night and you were putting Skittles on my lips so gently. Just
yeah, right. Wait, you were awake for that?
I mean, I woke up and I kept my mouth shut.
Yeah, that's for damn certain. So that's gonna happen. I'm in.
The FDA, hold on, because the FDA gets a lot of flack. The FDA was under huge criticism under quarantine because they're the ones signing off on the vaccines at the end of the day. And I remember a big argument that was going around was like, sure, the FDA says it's fine, but the FDA also allows bugs to be in the food that you eat, a certain amount.
Yeah, like supposedly there's bat droppings in Doritos.
I mean, I don't know about that specifically, but
I don't know about that. But that's like every time I've eaten Doritos, there's always some asshole who goes, the same chemical compounds found in bat shits in Doritos. And I go, yeah, man, but
here's the thing. You're allowed to eat bugs. Bugs are not bad for you. Sure. People eat bugs the world over.
Right.
So when you're making massive amounts of food for an entire country and internationally even, blah, 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 you're not gonna not allow zero bug parts. They're gonna get there. You know what I mean?
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. So just look the other way, eat your little bug legs, don't worry about it.
Yeah, keep it fucking moving, man. You got like goddamn spider legs in your mouth when you wake up in the morning.
If I can't notice it, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to pour some Skittles in my hand and then a chunk of titanium falls out, maybe I'm like, hey Mars, what gives?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. This is the thing that's gotta stop. But no, that's there's a lot of that bullshit, but it's also the amount too that makes it toxic, right?
Right.
So for example, I remember a buddy's boyfriend did some sort of study that the coloring in food dye is cancerous. This is true.
Yeah.
It's just cancerous. It is what it is. But you would have to have so much. You see what I'm saying? They put 4 drops in a can of seltzer. You'll be all right. Now, if your entire can of seltzer is that, then yeah, you're fucked.
Yeah.
But that always is the thing too. So I'm kind of curious to see what happens here. Man, I've always said this about like disease and like, I always feel like we're gonna one day find out that it was something. There's been like a couple things that we've been using and we're like, oh, no. You should not. Like, we're gonna find out non-stick pans have been causing cancer for decades.
Yeah. Corn syrup.
Yeah. We're gonna that's gonna be the thing. And it's just like, because when people get cancer who don't have cancer in their family, I'm always like curious. Like part of me starts to feel like a private investigator where I want to ask questions and be like, well, what was their habits like? What'd they do? Well, every morning they started their day off with like a venti caramel frap with extra
Skittles.
Yeah. And it's just like, then you go, oh, maybe that caused it.
Yeah. That sort of thing fascinates me too, because I know you were saying people with a history of cancer in their family. Cancer is so prevalent. I don't even know. I know certain ethnicities maybe are more prone to certain cancers, but cancer as a whole umbrella, it's coming for everybody. You know what I mean? But what's curious to me when you hear about somebody like that who every day I had a mocha, whatever, caramel frap, is the person who drinks that every morning for 20 years and stops, as opposed to the person who just continues drinking it every day. I feel like your body gets used to stuff. And if you try to make changes after long periods of time, even if they're healthy, quote unquote, healthy changes, your body is so thrown off by this disruption to the pattern that it fucking makes you croak,
Oh, so you're saying that because your body's so used to this thing that it's getting, that now you've taken it off completely, and then cancerous cells develop because the body is like all haywire.
Maybe not necessarily cancerous cells, but like some sort of illness in general, or your body breaking down. Like you always hear about the person who lives to 95 and they're like, well, every day I smoke 3 cigarettes and I have a glass of whiskey. And it's like, if you stop doing that, if you were doing that since you were 30 years old and you stopped at 70, you're probably dead by 73. But if you just keep it going, maybe you're living till 95. I don't know.
Your body's like, well, we're almost impressed you've been doing it this long.
Yeah.
The body is now invested in you wanting to see how far you can take it.
Kinda. Like the guy who eats a Whopper every day. Like the dude who eats McDonald's every day.
Right.
He's still kicking. He's around.
I'm gonna tell you right now, man, this theory that you got here, it's almost like it makes me make sense as to what the D stands for in PhD.
Dennis Rooney.
Yeah, PH Dennis Rooney.
I don't know what the PH stands for.
Yeah, I don't know. There's this old joke where like PhD meant Pizza Hut delivery, because that's where you end up even with a PhD.
That was your old joke?
No, someone else's. Okay. Like a street joke.
Oh, okay. I never heard that before.
Yeah. It's kind of fun. I do want to talk about this also, is that Biden met the Prince of Saudi Arabia, or the leader or whatever. And supposedly he had asked about the murder of that journalist. Because Saudi Arabia had something to do with the murder of this journalist. And he met with Saudi Arabia, to help.
When Biden asked, he also couldn't remember the name of the journalist. He's like, whatever happened to that journalist?
Yeah. This guy's name is like Khashoggi or something like that, right?
Okay.
So Shinobi. The guy's name is Shinobi. And fools all kick in like Shinobi. So he goes, so now people are saying, people in Saudi Arabia goes, oh, he didn't even bring that up. Yeah. And it's like, and he was meeting with them allegedly for some gas price shit. And it's kind of like, are we willing to forget this guy was murdered just for lower gas?
How much lower?
Right? What if next week gas is $1.50? Like unreasonably low.
Yeah.
Then you'd be like, I don't know, man. Ain't my journalist, ain't my monkeys.
If it goes down to $1.50, do you think all the people who put this "I did that" stickers up, they go back to take it off? They don't want to give them credit. I'm gonna tell you right now, if the gas turns to $1.50, I'll be selling bumper stickers going, "Yay for Khashoggi's death." What was the thing about his death again? Bring me up to speed. Because it's like at least a year old now, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be, a while now, right?
A couple of years.
Saudi Arabian journalist, dissident author, columnist for Middle East Eye and the Washington Post, general manager and editor-in-chief of Al Arab News Channel, who was assassinated at a Saudi consulate in Istanbul on October 2nd by agents of the Saudi government, allegedly at the behest of Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. So, I mean,
I blame myself because I asked you, I was like, give me the details, and all these things just mean nothing to me.
Oh, what do you mean they mean nothing to you?
I mean, like, you give me the date, you give me the time, but at the end of the day, I'm like, I don't know why,
I mean, this guy who spoke against the government, and now they kind of had him killed.
Yeah.
And this is
all the time.
Yeah.
People die every day.
What's the name of that movie you're quoting again?
Saudis are tough, right? It's a Cameron movie. I forget. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I get it. That's so funny. I wish you were eating chips while you did it.
I wish I had an appetite.
Yeah. Oh, did you lose your taste of sense and smell?
Oh my God. I didn't even think to really check that. I don't think I did though.
Yeah.
No, I had a Diet Coke earlier with the burger and an egg on top.
Right.
I have lost my appetite, but that hasn't stopped me from eating.
Yeah, of course, clearly. Yeah, no, man, my sense of smell got dull. But getting back to this thing, so it's like, man, I don't know. It's always it's so fucked up that this is what we're willing to do for the sake of just cheaper gas. If gas is $1.50, I'll advocate killing more journalists.
Sure.
Like, there's no, you know what I mean?
Listen, I never met this journalist. I don't know if he's a good guy. He probably is, but
I don't know this man.
Yeah, he might have skeletons in his closet, dude. And it's not just somebody dying for low, cheap price gas for one person. Right. It's the entire country, maybe the whole world.
Also, seems like he was talking shit. Because when I hear
talking a little bit of shit,
when I hear the word dissident, I hear talking shit.
Yeah, me and you talk shit in private. That's one thing.
Right.
If you're a reporter putting it on blast to everyone who might see it, yeah, you might get some flack.
Yeah, a couple people might be angry.
Saudi Arabia, not the chillest country for that sort of thing, from what I've heard.
No. Yeah, so I don't know. Might be the situation at hand. Now Biden's getting flack that people are saying that he didn't even bring it up necessarily, which is kind of fucked up to be even doing that. It's like, yeah, we talked about it. And it's like, what's there to even talk about? You know what I mean? Like if I'm the crown prince, right? And you're what's the thing called? You're Biden. You're good old Joe Biden.
You want to do a little role play?
Yeah, a little role play. Yeah.
Hey, whatever happened to that journalist? That guy, didn't you guys like kill a journalist who was saying some shit?
What journalist? Oh, hey, by the way, we're bringing in millions of barrels of gasoline.
Oh, that's cool. You selling that gasoline?
Yeah, we are. We're looking to sell for real cheap.
I don't know, some fucking idiot friend of mine told me about some journalist, but he probably don't know what he's talking about. How cheap you talking about that gasoline?
Real cheap. It's almost a steal. It's almost like we're just bleeding this shit away. We're bleeding gas, gasoline, much like that journalist bled on the fucking in Istanbul. Not that I have anything to do with it.
Don't know who you're talking about. Honestly,
no idea.
Don't know who you're talking about.
No idea.
That hasn't come across my desk. Maybe Trump. Maybe it had something to do with Trump.
His desk is like 100 feet long. Yeah, man. I don't know. Very rough situation. Yeah. Let's see. One more thing I wanted to talk about before we can get the hell up out of here, out of this situation. This is something that I have a theory. I got a theory, and I want to hear your thoughts on it.
Sure.
The Uvalde shooting, if I'm saying that right, in Texas.
Yes.
Supposedly cops, massive failure, supposed to run in, cops were just waiting outside.
Yep.
While this guy was shooting children.
Heroes.
Wait, the children or the cops?
Everybody. I just call people heroes. When in doubt, they're heroes.
Yeah, it's just any sort of situation, and the person who told you the story has to guess who the heroes are in this circumstance. Yeah.
After this podcast, I'm going out to 7-Eleven to grab some shit, and the guy behind the register is not going to know, but I'm going to look at him and be like, "You're a hero. Putting yourself at risk." He's like, "What?" I'm like, "Don't worry about
it." So I think the reason why abortion was overturned was because this Texas shooting.
You don't think it was because of the nominees who got the Supreme Court seats who made it lean right?
No.
I like this hand motion. It's just no. Are you kidding me? What do you smell that? P.U.
Like I'm waving off a bad fart.
A bad opinion.
Yeah, this stinks on your end.
Terrible take.
Yeah, I believe, and even though they're wildly different topics, that the Supreme Court was called up and like, listen, our cops are going to get a lot of fucking guff for this shit. We need to do something entirely different. We need to distract the entire nation on the fact that maybe the police may not need to be armed to the fucking teeth. And, we want to be able to control this inner military, essentially. So why don't you take abortion rights, throw a wrench in it?
Terrible opinion, terrible theory. Can't stand for it, can't stand by it. I think you're wrong.
Okay.
No, I'm not above thinking that the government does shit to distract us from bigger issues.
Yes.
But there's so many mass shootings that I think they're just like, I don't think we need to organize these. I'm pretty sure it's just going to take care of itself.
Yeah, but I think because of the failure of the police in this one, that's why the abortion thing has come up. That's my
I don't know. I mean, it's been in play for a while. They had
loose,
the numbers.
I think I've got a loose theory here. Too loose?
Yeah, I think you know what I think of your theory? Yeah. Two hands waving away.
Wave it away.
Wave it away.
Like a plane taking off. Just go. Yeah. Get this thing out of here.
I got something about that Uvalde shooting. Did you see, because now the videos came out of the officers charging into the building and pretty much staying at that initial hallway for like 45 minutes and not advancing or doing anything really. So they're coming under a lot of heat for that. And specifically one officer, I almost feel bad for this guy. I kind of feel bad for anyone who's trying just to do their job.
My man is treading some serious water. Serious water.
Yes, I know. Yeah. I know. And it's me saying this.
Yes, but right. About to back the blue hard.
He takes his phone out.
Who knew that the D in police department stood for Dennis?
The Uvalde PD stands for Uvalde Police Dennis Rooney.
Yeah. So go on.
He takes out his phone, and there's cameras in the school, so they can actually see him looking at his phone. And what's even better is that the background of his phone is the Blue Lives Matter Punisher logo.
Oh.
So this guy who's standing there not advancing is looking at his phone and it's got that logo in the background, which is like not a great look.
No.
But then we hear the other side where he comes back at the media and he goes, he says, I was waiting on an update from my wife who is dying in the hospital. That's how I feel, Kunal. That's how your face exactly, where it's like, listen, buddy, even if your wife is dying in the hospital, don't go into work that day. And if you do go into work, be focused on the school shooting at hand. All right. Yeah. Don't be looking for notifications.
Also, here we go. If you've got a team of people that are getting into the building and it's like, hey, my wife's dying of cancer.
Too much Skittles.
You think maybe I could sit this one out, perhaps?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Sit this one out, or like maybe keep watch outside. Or I don't know.
Or do the job.
Like, listen, I've had family members.
This is not the time to go, oh, my wife's dying of cancer. That's why I'm distracted. Man, you know what really is fucked? Is the fact that this guy is throwing his wife under the bus. This bitch already got cancer, dude. And you out here going, she's calling me at all hours.
Yeah.
Doesn't she know I'm at work? Look at this. I'm trying to put money on her on the table that she can't sit at because of her cancer-ridden body, using all my good insurance.
Now, I don't know if she had cancer. All I read was that she was dying in the hospital.
Whatever.
And in my head, it's like, that's what he says. And then she comes out the next day. It's like, we've been separated for 6 weeks and I was at a sleep study.
I was at my in-laws. Well, it feels like cancer.
Yeah. I was actually in the ICU because he hit me. He hit me with the Blue Lives Matter sign.
He had a plaque. He just threw it at her.
Bravest police officer in Uvalde County.
Yeah. All right. Well, then there we go. Let's do countries and states and get the fuck up out of here.
Sure.
Top 5 countries: United States, baby, always. Australia, number 2. Norway, number 3. Germany, number 4. Canada, number 5. Good to see Canada back in the mix. Top 5 cities: New York City, always stay true. Livingston, New Jersey. Welcome to the party. LA still holding strong. Thank you for visiting. Always nice to have you. Lake Forest, California. New listeners. Not bad at it. Not mad at it at all.
Place.
Great. Woodstock, New York. Another New York's place back in the mix. Like to hear it. I guess when this comes out, come see me at Fairfield Comedy Club in Connecticut. Don't not do that. It's going to be good. It's going to be a fun show. I'm headlining. That's going to be July 23rd. It's an 8 p.m. show in the Connecticut Comedy Club in Fairfield, Connecticut. What else we got going on here? Yeah, and then I'm doing shows all over the city. Please be sure to follow me at All Day KCA. What do you got, buddy?
Follow me on Instagram at dennisrooney7. You can see all my dates on there. But the big one I want to plug is I will be headlining the Brokerage Friday, August 12th. One show, 8 o'clock. Please come out. I want to see some familiar faces there. We're going to have some fun guest spots. It'll be a good time. I want to fill the place up. My home clubs. So come on out, please.
Absolutely. 100%. And as always, meet me outside.